What's going on, y'all? This is Nate from Nate in Your State, and this is my 2021 travel guide to Colombia. With the events of what happened in 2020, you're going to need a couple of things to help you get into the country itself. And the first place that you can check to find out the information that you'll need in order to enter the country is the Travel.gov. Check Travel.gov for rules and restrictions when entering the country. And as of November 2020, you actually don't need any testing to enter the country, but you do need a couple of things to go through. They ask that you fill out some information in the Migración website. This will be the Check-Mig registration website, as well as get yourself the Corona app, which is Colombia's way to track viruses or any symptoms that you may happen to notice during the duration of your trip. Both of these apps can be found on the Colombia.travel website, which I will put in the description below. There's a couple of things that you might need in order to get the Corona app working for you. If you happen to have a friend that's also in Colombia, you probably might want to ask them to borrow their number so you could register in the app, because it would not work for American numbers. I gave it a try, it didn't work. You can also try to buy yourself a virtual number. You can forward calls or texts from the number to your actual number, whether it's be United States or wherever else you're coming from, and then you can be able to register for the Corona app that way. These are just some necessities that the country is asking any tourists coming into the country to have at them at any time that customs may request, whether or not you have the apps installed, so you don't get stopped and be sent back to your home country. The next thing I'm going to mention is Noob-Friendly Cities. What do I mean about noob-friendly? What I mean are cities that are tourist-friendly. Cities that are good for beginners, for you to enjoy the country for what it is, or enjoy the cities for what it is, and explore. You can check Colombia.travel for more insight on these cities that you would like to explore. When you do check this, they will give you some information on places to see. You also want to do personal research on the city itself when you want to find out where are the local restaurants. Is there a curfew going on? How are the neighborhoods? Is there a lot of crime? You got to put these things into effect, because a lot of people did lose jobs too. And a lot of people are hungry. So you got to understand, by doing your research, you got to find out whether or not has crime increased, has crime decreased, what's the current situation in the current city that you're going to be checking. Do those research. That also ties to this next point. Do some research on whatever information that you may need, whether it's you check other YouTubers, whether it's you check Google, Bing, or any type of search engine, whatever has you. Country etiquette. You also want to check the rules and regulations on what to do, what not to do in terms of mannerisms and dress codes. I heard that Colombian people really like to dress formal, and sometimes it really looks bad on you if you're walking around with just shorts, a tank top, and slippers around. You want to look your fly self when you're down there, and you want to be able to be cool and swag out for a bit. You are going to a new place. You are going to somebody else's home, whatever have you. So you also have to be respectful too. It also helps that if you learn Spanish, that also helps in terms of the etiquette. Being more formal, being more respectful, or you're being an individual who is curious about the country by displaying that you know some Spanish, or you trying. I heard that the Colombians really do like it when they realize that they're speaking with the individual that speaks their language. Translators. If your Spanish is just as bad as mine, you're probably going to need a translator to help you get through when communicating with the locals, with the taxi man, or anybody within the country. You can use your phone's translators. I happen to have these two translators. I have a regular Android translator that I use for English to Spanish, Spanish to English. Requires Wi-Fi, or you can get yourself an offline translator as what I have. This is a WT2 offline translator. With this, I take one of the earbuds, place it in my ear. I want to open up the proprietary app that it came with, and with that, it actually shows that it's syncing through Bluetooth with the earbud. What actually is going to happen is I will be able to use various types of modes in order to communicate with the local. I tend to recommend using the speaker mode if you don't feel comfortable giving another person another headset. What it's just going to do is it's going to read your speech in your native tongue, and it's going to spit out in your desired language your translated text. I'm going to go to speaker mode, and all I have to do is tap whenever I'm ready to speak, tap again to end the conversation, and then it'll spin out to Spanish. Can you subscribe to Nate in Your State, please?
Puedes suscribirte a Nate en tu estado, por favor.
I like it. Lodging. You also want to make sure that you have yourself a nice and comfortable place to stay. There are numerous hostels around the country of Colombia and throughout the cities as well. Hostels are the cheapest options for those that are backpacking or traveling or want to be on a budget. Hostels can range from as low as $10 up to $100 depending on where you go. And don't take my word for it. Do your research on whatever hostels that you want. If you're comfortable with sharing spaces with other people, if that is not your thing, you can actually go to hotels or Airbnbs. If you want further security, I would say you can go to a hotel. The problem with that is if you do have friends and your friends want to make a visit, your hotels will probably give you much of an issue, which is why some other people would rather go to Airbnbs. Airbnbs, you have more control over your environment. You just have to speak with the person that you're renting the room out to and have a deep conversation on what rules and regulations that they have in their apartment complex. Most Airbnbs have security themselves, so you definitely want to communicate with your Airbnb host on whether or not there is a front desk concierge there, or is there security, or is there not security? What are the rules? What are the house rules? Can you have parties? Can you not have parties? Can you have guests? Can you not have guests? You definitely want to figure all of that out before you book yourself a room. Documentation. Make sure at all times that you have your documents on you, whether it's your passport or your passport card or your driver's license ID. You don't want to get yourself in a sticky situation and no one can identify you. Nobody wants to be locked up abroad. So make sure when you go, you're safe, you're not doing anything illegal. You make sure you have your information on you, so in case of any event, if anything happens, people can identify you and people can vouch for you as well. You may also want to get yourself a Airbnb travel visa. You may also want to go for the option of getting yourself an Airbnb travel visa, which is an option that's available for those that are traveling overseas. The name of the venue, the street address, the location where you're coming from, and the number of guests that might be involved into this Airbnb. It may also be a wise idea for you to make copies of your documents and keep a copy of them with you. Me personally, I scanned a picture of my passport, and what I'm going to do is walk around with a copy of my passport while I have my real passport in a secure location. I recommend you do this with all your IDs. God forbid you lose your documents. You would rather you losing a paper version of your documents rather than the real thing. So do the wise thing. Print out a copy or a scanned copy of your driver's license, of your passport card if you have one, of your passport book. You don't want to be in a sticky situation. Another thing is also make sure you have a spare wallet too. You are going into unfamiliar territory. I happen to have this, which I'm possibly going to keep some of my cash ID and all of that in, while I have my real wallet in a safe location. Reason being for you don't want to get pickpocketed, or you don't want to accidentally you leave your wallet on a restaurant table or somewhere unfortunate. You want to make sure that you keep yourself secure and safe at all times. Make sure you pack yourself the necessary medications that you may need going overseas. You're not sure if you don't have allergies and you never had allergies, but you're not sure what's going to happen when you go overseas. Make sure you keep yourself a quick Benadryl just in case. I know I don't have any allergies, but I have Benadryl just in case something goes wrong. God forbid you happen to be quarantined and you were wise enough to pack some things. Make sure you pack yourself some vitamin C, either tablets or the vitamin C packets. Make sure you have witch hazel. I'm not sure if there's any bugs. Wherever you go into the country, in case you have any bug bites or so, and get yourself some antiseptic, witch hazels. Make sure you have Pepto-Bismol, because you probably might eat something that your body isn't familiar with. The necessary things that you think you might encounter but you're not too sure. Make sure you keep yourself on the safe side instead of the sorry side. And make sure you pack in advance just in case in the event you happen to get quarantined. You still got medicines and things that will help keep you throughout your duration if you happen to get quarantined. There's some other precautions that you can take in order to keep yourself secure, and I actually recommend carrying yourself a water filtration system. I have myself a little Brenta water filter that I attach to a faucet on the sink. Can never be too sure about quality of water someplace else. Other people recommend that you drink bottled water instead of the tap water. If you want to drink the tap water, it's completely up to you. I recommend bringing a water filter at least with you. I also recommend bringing multiple phones. Kind of in the same idea of you carrying around a scanned copy of your documents. It's also a good idea to carry spare cell phones. In the event that something happens to your phone and you need a way to communicate, you have a spare phone. I actually have quite a few phones that I'm going to be traveling with. One phone for filming and one phone for filming, one phone for work, and another phone for just in case anything happens. And the last but not least thing I want to point out is currency. One of the things I found out during my research is that the currency exchange at the airport is not the best that you'll get rather than going to a legitimate ATM. If you try to exchange currency at the airport, you'll get a lesser amount than if you was actually to find yourself an ATM and withdraw money that way. Just make sure you notify your bank first that you're traveling overseas, so that way they can release some type of a hold on your bank card. Whatever is your bank, you might have to talk with them about that type of situation so you can get things fixed and handled on your way. Those are the quick things I just wanted to point out. If there's anything I missed, please feel free to add it here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Was this a good enough video for you? What other things would you like to hear? What other things would you like to see? Are you going to Colombia in the next few days, or in the next few weeks, or in the next few months, or next year? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Keep eating, keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.